The face is on. The hair is done.
Did you see my mic go flying?
I just saw your eyes go big, so I assumed something was happening.
It flew. It's here, balancing on this book. The stack of books is a little more precariously balanced than usual. But yeah, I completely forgot you had to go to Margie's. I'm so sorry.
No problem at all. And we just had like the time change, so things are like a little wonky
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
scheduling wise anyway. So we're figuring things out, taking it on a whim. Here we
Yeah,
are. Yes. Um, hopefully my freaking internet like works because
yeah.
all day it's been just like kicking me off of my laptop and I don't know why. So I
Really?
had Armando, I don't know what he did something. So
It looks good. Don't, it's
yeah.
just me. If it cuts off, we can pick up talking about slutty trees right where we left off, you know?
Yeah. Super profesh. Yes. In our
Absolutely. The pub persuasion way.
yeah. Well, welcome everybody to what is our a naughty book club? Is that what we are calling it?
I just went with Spicy Book Club.
Spicy
Because
book club.
Instagram blocks a lot of hashtags. You can't do
Uh
like oh there's a whole bunch. You can't do like I think erotica is probably blocked. There's one that you wouldn't expect that's blocked. So yeah, you got to watch out. Some hashtags are blocked.
yeah, makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I heard actually that Instagram says that hashtags don't even matter anymore.
So I hear, but then
Yeah.
I still like search sometimes for a hashtag if I'm like, oh, I
Uh-huh.
wonder about this thing, and I'll still use the hashtag to search.
So we'll keep hashtags for women like you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Are you not using them anymore?
I honestly have really, I mean, no, I mean maybe one or two as like habit, but
Mm.
I gave up trying. I gave up
Oh,
trying.
it be like that
So,
some days on Instagram. But we will not waste another breath on the algo, which pains us all, you know?
yes.
Because what we're
Yes.
here to do today is to be absolutely ridiculous and read absolutely ridiculous things. This is the drag race episode of the podcast where we discuss the most ridiculous spicy books we can find. And today
And
we have two.
Melanie has found them. Melanie has found
Look at you just distancing yourself from all like connection to the choice.
no. These are all Melanie. I mean,
Might
of
I
course, I
remind you?
agreed.
Sorry, might I remind you that you're the one who picked the Leprechaun book that nearly got us cancelled, which we'll talk about another day. We just like never brought it up. But anyway, now you can continue slashing me.
Yes, this is all Melanie's idea. This is all her choosing. And I gotta say, like when she said, "What about these?" I one look at the title and I thought, yes, absolutely yes. I don't think you could read these titles and not be like, wow,
Mm.
I have to indulge, in
Yeah,
this literary experience, really.
that's it. The titles are, well, shall we read the titles? Because they are
Yeah,
absolutely iconic. You can go ahead if you have them there. And that is
I
what caught
do.
me. That's what caught my attention because I actually follow this chick and she does like, I think it's unfortunate reads. And she also does like reading these wretched books. And she had a book by him, not these ones, but it was
Oh.
like there's a ghost up my butt and I can't get rid of it. And just that title as well made me cackle. And I was like, wow, the title of this book just made me cackle. I wonder what else the other author, what else this author has. So I looked him up, and if you will,
Yes. Yes. The author is Ben Hung. Okay, been hung. The first one that I read, because I mean, how do you not? I kissed a gay half alpaca, half octopus alien from Mars, and I liked it. Okay, that was the first one. Immediately I was like, wow, gotta know what's going on there. Um, the the second title is The Trees in the Forest Had Wood, and it was all for me. And again, I feel like these titles really sum up the
Mm,
experience you're gonna get, you know? It
mm.
really lets you know
Yeah, it's
what these
basically a
stories are talking about.
synopsis. Given how short the stories are, the titles are, in fact, a synopsis.
That's literally, that's exactly what they are. And that's genius. I think all titles should just be the miniature synopsis of everyone's stories. That perfect.
I
Beautiful.
love it. And honestly, like the humor behind the titles, these are such short, like they're really anthologies, like such short pieces. You can read it in 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I found really satisfying for this type of book. Like, did I want it to be longer and a bit more storyline? A part of me did, but then afterwards, when I kind of sat on it, I saw the genius of these little short, I don't know, just like audacious little skits almost, like if you were watching like a TV show, this is the skit that you would watch like the team from What We Do in the Shadows do. You know what I mean?
Yes. 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 It gives you exactly what you need. No more.
Well, oh, you glitched. You've
Okay.
froze. Oh,
I'm back. That's what I'm telling you. Like it keeps just booting me off the internet. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do for tomorrow. But anyway,
don't stress. I sent you a photo of yourself frozen. You were frozen for ages.
oh God, let me see. I'm sure it was
I've
gorgeous.
been singing to you.
Now I'm just like using my phone's internet. So I think I'll just have to do that tomorrow, but I don't freaking know what's happening with my computer.
I hate when it does that because usually it just works. And then when it doesn't, you're like, what do I do to fix
Yeah,
it?
exactly. I turned off all the things, I pressed the buttons and nothing. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to complain to somebody tomorrow about this.
Yeah,
But
complain. I think that,
yeah, I'll complain.
yeah, you're in a Karen now. Well, I believe what you were saying was that it just gives you what you need. But actually, from what you told me, it didn't give you what you need. I seem to remember last time we chat, you said these books made you realize something.
I think they really did. And it has nothing to do with like the writing, the storyline. I just realized it's not like for me, is what I'm realizing. Like, okay, again, let me go back to the title of this first one. I kissed a gay half alpaca, half octopus alien from Mars, and I liked it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I knew going into it, that's where the direction we were headed.
Mm.
Um, so he is driving, he has car trouble, he pulls over and goes into the cornfield or something. And then he meets a gay half alpaca, half octopus alien.
Yeah.
And they just start doing things. And I was like,
They are DTF immediately, Like
yes, yes. They were so DTF, like right off the bat. But I was still stuck on it is a half alpaca, half octopus. And so, like, I'm like, I can't get over it because I'm sorry. And again, I know I have like weird things with animals, but like, I could not get over
the
trying to
alpaca head was a
get it
lot
on.
for me, I'm not gonna lie. I'll
Yes, like
grieve
I'm
that
thinking,
part.
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as it said alpaca, I was like, no, like I'm thinking
Yeah.
an alpaca's little, you know how they have those little lips and they're
Girl, I
like
think the lips is
snout thing.
probably
Like
what
I,
started the idea. But in
you're right.
fairness, when I actually pictured it, I wasn't picturing an alpaca. because of the same reasons as you, because that would feel odd to me. Um, but given it's an alien, I kind of just pictured that that's the word he used to describe this particular alien's appearance. You know what I mean? But I thought you
Yeah.
were gonna
Okay, I like how
say,
your brain works.
yeah, I thought you were gonna say that you realized you needed more, like a romance thread, is what you were when we were chatting the other day. You're
Well,
like,
yes.
realized you need like there to be a romantic connection, not just like a splash and dash.
Yes. Yeah. Like I needed a lot here because if
Mm,
if I'm gonna if I'm gonna do some things with an alpaca octopus, like I need to feel emotionally invested, like maybe it saved me from some other aliens. We're bonded. Maybe, but I can't even still. But like I needed
mm.
a little finesse. I did because he went right into doing all sorts of things with tentacles and alpaca lips and everything.
Yeah, I love that for you. I love that, Jenny. Whereas I realized that I'm a, horny little hoe who was like ready to go with the tentacles. It was funny when you were telling me, I was like, I still felt stirrings, I didn't need the romance arc. So there's that one, and then the other one, he's in the forest and the trees just get kinky with him. And I was like, yeah, I could see this. So,
Okay. Again, I had a hard time
mm,
because I was thinking it's bark. Like that's can't feel good.
that's a good point. But see, I think like this is the age-old thing of when you're a reader and you want to love something, you like, because I was at first I was also like, oh, the bark would be splintery. But then I was like, but it's a magical tree, you know? And surely it's not
Yes.
going to be like splintering you too hard if it's a magic tree, you know? My brain wanted to make sense of it.
Yeah, your brain was like, we're doing this. Like we are here. And mine was like, that's splinters. Like I'm sure you're gonna get some sort of infection.
Yeah, true.
Like
It's true. Was it the same adventurer in both books?
I don't know, but I know like in his bio, he
Mm,
mentions I know for sure the person in the trees book, that main character,
yeah.
is somebody he mentions in his bio as like his alter ego, I feel like.
Mm.
And so I bet it is the same character in the alien one as well. I'm sure it is.
I think it is. You're right. I'd love to track him down. Like, and I couldn't find much about him on social media except for this one cheeky photo of somebody by the same name who was like a doctor. I was like, that's the person. That's the person who would write these books.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, like keep my identity hidden and let me just like explore all of my like inner thoughts and like feelings and like everything and put it on the page. And I honestly like I really appreciated it.
I appreciated it because it made me it did what it was meant to, you know. It made me a little hot around the gills in places. It made me laugh, more importantly. Like I laughed so hard. I woke Phil up because I was reading it and I just the sheer did you have like a favorite? What were your was there's probably no underlining because it was in Kindle.
I know that's the bummer because it was
Yeah.
Kindle. I'm sure I can underline things on here, but I
Yeah.
can't say that I did. It's such a short, like
It's
delightful read,
so
both of them
short.
though.
The alpaca
But
was
well,
great.
that's why I was like, I could not because I'm not a fan of alpacas.
Mm.
Like I don't trust their asses. Like them and llamas, like those motherfuckers. If there's an animal that is gonna spit at me,
Do you
I
like
don't
them?
want to be near it.
They seem like a bit like, yeah, like they mean business. Like they seem like they would spit at you, you know? Back to our our lovely tree orgy.
And it really was. It really, really was. Yeah. Okay, so in the story, he is going camping with
Yeah.
some like acquaintances, you know, not really his best friends, but acquaintances. So he goes and takes a walk into the woods, and then he's pretty much scooped right up into the trees. And again, bam, like no, hey, how are you? I'm a tree. No, like nice to meet you. My name is Oak. None of that. It's straight up like,
He does say
boom.
at the start of the book, I think that this kind of might be the setup for all these books, especially if he writes from the same character most of the time. Because the start is, my name is Brad, and lately I've been feeling a little weird and having strange dreams, dreams of things that make me wake up sweating and shaky in the middle of the night. And he says, I almost wonder if I've been abducted. So great are the blank spots in my memory. So I feel like the author might be setting that up as kind of the premise, which would make sense because it's just like things just respond to him. That's what I'm
Yeah.
gathering. He's just like this sexual magnet, he awakens the trees. The UFO alien which crashed on Earth, all it had in mind was his booty hole.
Okay, that honestly would be a really great setup of like an anthology of like I've been having all of these dreams. Like here are the dreams,
Yeah.
and it's a sequence. Okay, I like that. Now I'm feeling a little bit better about it because I feel okay. This is the backstory here. Like I don't know why I got so like hung up on. Why am I such a little prude? I don't.
Because society has brainwashed the absolute shit out of us. But listen, I'm with you on the alpaca head. I really leaned into picturing like us like a Star Wars alien humanoid thing. But it was one, did it speak to him? I don't think it even spoke to him. It was just tentacle time.
There was time to speak. Like it was purely carnal. It was like I have crash landed onto Earth. I need some loving, and now I'm off to do what alpaca octopuses do. Whatever that may be.
But my favorite was definitely something about the almost poetic title of the other one. The trees in the forest all had wood. The tree, and it was all for me. Wait, I said all twice. I fucked up my favorite title. What is that? The trees in the forest had wood, and it was all for me. I think it was, right?
Yeah,
That,
I think so. I think so. I don't have it because I'm
oh,
losing
you're
it.
on your thing. Of course. It's an almost poetic title for me. So these trees that you know what though as well, when he went on this thing, he's single Pringle. He's also been yearning. So maybe the trees picked up on his yearning.
Could be, and I think things were happening that we just didn't know, beyond the story. They probably did pick up on that. Maybe there was some chemistry between them. But yeah, again, they went right for it and they explored places I didn't even know was possible. And
What places, Angela? What places did you know was possible?
I don't even know. I just got so stuck on like all of these. I don't know. Maybe I was like having these. I don't know what was happening in my brain when I was reading these or like around me, but I just kept getting snagged on getting splinters, on alpaca lips, and so I was just so stuck on these things. But I had so much fun reading these stories.
Yeah.
Like it's a good time, and it's really great. Um, so yeah, but I just kept thinking like because I think the like lubricant in the tree story was sap, right?
Absolutely, I believe you are correct.
So that was another thing I started thinking, well, that's pretty sticky.
You know, it is pretty sticky. And actually, on this camping trip, there's this guy called Ron, and he's got kind of like a little crush on Ron. And as soon as he's in the forest, he's picturing things about Ron. He sees a toadstool and he imagines Ron bending him over it, you know? So I feel like the trees were already reading his little smutty. Oh, here we go. The images wouldn't go. I wanted some man flesh and I wanted it right then. You know, I feel like
I
some sentient trees would have picked up on that vibe.
feel like they absolutely would have. Like trees are magical in and of itself. And so I mean, if you're in a forest and there's trees that are like picking up on these thoughts and feelings, trees are so good, for humanity that they probably were thinking, let's help our dear friend Brad out.
Okay, side quest. Have you heard about those people who like marry trees?
No,
Yeah.
no.
I can't remember what I was watching, some kind of strange news. Those shows that are like strange news or and it was like all the strange things people had married. And one woman married a bridge and another one married a tree. Actually, more than one have married trees.
More than one. I just saw somebody married their goat. I just and in the picture with him and the goat had like lipstick. So
That makes
I,
me throw up.
yeah, I honestly I'd prefer to marry a tree
Yeah,
over a goat.
the
Yeah.
goat. I'm sure that's illegal. It's illegal. The goat needs to be protected.
No,
Somebody save it. Somebody please save it. Oh my
but
God.
it sounds like trees are into it.
Yeah.
And
Trees.
based off of this story, trees are very into it.
Yeah. Listen, it's as we learn, like it's a fine line, some of this stuff, hey. That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I think if you go into it, obviously, knowing you're gonna have a good time and just like letting it flow. And I know you were letting it really flow. You were feeling.
I was there. I was one with the trees. When my favorite line is, "Give it to me," I yelled. "Give it to me, you woody bastards." You know? It was just it was just a great time with the trees.
Well, and I think it was cute. It was cute because after he goes back to the camp and the guy that he was interested in was like, I know what you were up to, right? And then they're like, let's go together. And so it was like a nice moment afterwards where they're like, hey, let's go back and now there's going to be a whole bunch of us enjoying this time
Yeah.
together.
See, you got your backstory, you know? Poor
Yeah.
Ryan. Ryan? Poor Ryan, he's been like yearning, he's been hungering for some man flesh, as he says. And, I think he'd gone through a breakup as well, maybe. And then there's this guy, Ron. He doesn't even know, is Ron gay? Is there even a chance that Ron would notice him? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's yearning and then there's stress because he's like, maybe could it happen? He doesn't know. So when he goes on this camping trip, he feels all isolated and then he has this encounter and he's like, how could I even explain this, what's happened to me? But then not like every dream comes true for him. Ron saw
Yeah.
what happened. He's not alone he's not having dreams. You know? He's not
Ooh.
imagining it. He has someone there with him. And Ron is keen. Ron is not only keen, Ron is like, let's go back in the forest together.
Let's freaking go. Yes. I think it would be fun if we started in an anthology, if our author started an anthology and he was like, okay, I've been having these weird dreams, goes into the alien story, goes into the what was the one that you were telling me?
There's a
The
ghost up
one,
my butt.
yeah, ghost up my butt. Like having all of these ones, and then we end with the tree, and then realizing it wasn't a dream because this guy also is seeing these sentient trees. And so we have a full anthology like sealed into one. Boom.
I
I'm gonna
fucking
call.
love that. You should call him. I love how your like editor brain went into, and look, that is one thing I'll say, like they they're not super polished books. You know what I mean? Like it definitely felt like a quick
Yeah,
raw romp.
very wrong.
Splinter raw. But I think, yeah, if you go into it with that mindset of just like wanting to read something silly and fun that's gonna make you laugh at the very least, like, I don't know. I found it glorious in the end. I felt like this is exactly why I want to read and write this stuff. Like, just some levity, like just something so ridiculous that just like takes your mind off everything. I was there, and I cannot wait to read more by Ben Hung.
Yeah, 100%. I enjoyed it too. And again, it made me realize like what I do love, what I like, what I need. I need a little bit of zhuzhing, a little romancing, a little something first to get to there. But I understood this. I understood what he was going like his thought process. I understood the heat, the
Yeah.
need, the lust for this
Mhm.
alpaca octopus alien. I understood it. Like
Yeah.
it, our main character needs this,
He
and
needed
so
it.
Alpaca needed it as well. So I get it,
Yeah.
but I also like even like writing my own little short story for the anthology was like, okay, what I really love about these stories are those little one-liners that just make you giggle.
That's
And like that's what I for me those are always my favorite things where it's like it's so obscene and ridiculous and hilarious that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to stop and like laugh out loud.
yeah.
And that's what I love about these short little stories so much.
Yeah, we're gonna give it 5 star. I'm gonna give it 5 stars anyway. Just for pure, like, just for the titles alone, I'm giving them 5 stars. But yeah, I was gonna bring up our spicy anthology as well. It seems like the right episode, so we're drawing near to our deadline for submission. So in case you somehow missed it, listeners, we are releasing our own spicy anthology at the end of this year. Jingle These Bells, A Smutty Christmas Delight.
It's fun. I think I'll be finished with my short story tomorrow, probably.
Gosh.
Yeah. So, um, yeah.
How's it? How have you felt writing it?
I honestly, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's really, really fun. And I was like trying to, again, like I said, like adding those ridiculous one-liners,
Mm.
like that's kind of my goal. And I can't remember what the line was, but every time I like come across it, it makes me like cackle. And it's probably so dumb, but I'm like, yes, like I'm I am going hard into the Christmas opulence.
Oh my God. I can't wait to read it. I can't believe the world is going to be blessed with Angela Montoya Christmas smut, you know?
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
knew that was going to be their gift this Christmas, but we're grateful, you know?
yeah. So you finished yours
Yeah.
already?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'd probably do a revision. But yeah, she's finished.
Uh,
I don't know if you're gonna get the romance arc in mine. I think I focused a little bit more on the pleasure aspect. But like you said, we need all kinds of pieces in it.
yeah,
You'll see what you see when you see it.
gosh, I'm excited and scared and nervous. I'm pumped to read yours.
I can't wait. It's so exciting. We've had some submissions come in already, and I can't wait to tuck into them and read them. And it's just the perfect bit of silly lightness at the moment. So, I mean,
Yeah,
we've got to give you some credit. I feel like it was your idea to actually take the plunge. Actually, I can't even remember how we wound up coming up with the actual conclusion that we should do a spicy anthology, but I'm going to credit you for that one.
I feel like we had chatted about it for a
Yeah.
while. Like it just like set it in conversation.
Mm,
And then maybe it was after one of the last ones we read. Probably after the Santa Claus one.
yeah, you must
Maybe
be right. Because there's
when I
something
was like,
about the Christmas ones that's extra funny. I don't know why.
yeah, I because like, I mean, come on, Santa Claus is coming to town on me. Like, that is the genius.
Another great title. I think, I know it's the trend to have these like, I don't know, single word titles that are just like Frost or like, you know, uh, I don't know why I'm thinking of there's this hotel in Australia called Jackalope and no shade on it, but like it's just like this one word, like just this one poetic word that holds so much. Listen, I really love the long wordy titles, that like apparently that's my bread and butter. I love these like the Santa Claus is going to town on me. Like, come on. Literally,
Yeah, I'm
that's a
here for it.
slave. It's almost as good as these ones, titles.
I don't know if you could ever top these titles. No
I
lie.
agree. And honestly, that's what won me over in the end. Like, I was just like, we just have to read these based on titles alone, even if it's like the shortest episode ever. Because I realize now, because of how short the stories were, and now we've learned our lesson, we want physical copies. Because I think that both of us write little notes and then we like discuss our notes. Whereas it's hard to kind of like keep it all in your head otherwise. So we've learned our lesson. We're going to do physical ones from now on. But also, I'm so open to recommendations from our listeners as well. I think after our failed leprechaun one, which listeners, if you saw that, listen, all I'll say is the leprechaun book, um, the author should be, it just should, the author should be in prison,
Yeah,
not for that book, but for other books they write, prison, and we
true.
didn't know that when we came across it. So in case you're wondering why we cancelled that episode, we just discovered that the author had interests that we found troubling.
Yeah, yeah. And Melanie's like spidey senses went off as she was reading it. And she went and was like, I'm gonna check out this author. And yep, her senses were correct. And that the right thing to do was to not do anything, was
Yeah.
to shut it down. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Great.
agree. I'm glad we never aired that episode because in the end, I didn't even want to give them airtime. And
Yeah.
honestly, like right now, it's been in like publishing news that there's an Australian author who's like literally been like she's going to get locked up for writing similar books, which is
Right.
wild that it wasn't that author that we were reading, but it's wild the timing because this author has similar books, which we didn't.
Yeah.
You look up a spicy leprechaun read, you don't like assume that there's going to be something darker in the threads. But yeah, it's definitely one to watch out for. And
Yeah.
we'll be screening out
Well,
this more thoroughly. You gotta go. You gotta go.
yeah, probably.
It's probably time you've got Margie's launch.
Uh,
I'm sorry for this chaotic episode before you go. Like, I don't know
I
if this is what you wanted or needed. Um, I'm sorry if
no,
it's
perfect. It's my internet that's not great. But other than that, everything's been wonderful.